One. No. Oh, hello. It's Cold Bones. I have decided to do this so some people will actually really know me. It's story time with Cold Bones, pretty much. Um, and we decided to do it on my brother-in-law Andrew's channel because he has more moderators than I do.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
here.
let Yeah, he's here too. Hi,
Yep.
his lips still in? Yeah,
Should
I see
be.
her.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sit back, mute up, and you do you. Just talk. Fuck it.
All right. Um, as I said, it's just gonna be pretty much story time with Cold Bones. But my pretty much life history. I'm not gonna give too much information though. It's just let's say um, I was born October 22nd, 1989. So that would make me this year 36, but I'm actually 35. Um, and I was born. I have a total of let's see, three older sisters. So I'm the fourth born, and then I have a sister that was a year younger than me by my biological father, which pretty much everybody heard about him now. Um, and my biological mother. Now the thing is, my biological mother did something was terrible. She left my four sisters and I home alone by ourselves, and was constantly bringing strange people into my house, my house too, while us kids were home alone. So my biological father could not keep a job within 1 week. 1 week he would have been fired because the neighbors was concerned for me and my sisters and was constantly calling my dad's work. So my dad ended up losing custody of my sisters and I. I went to his father and his mother, my biological father's mother. Um, After a couple of years, now just to tell you, this is what I was told. I was too young to remember this. I was like 2 years old. Um, but when my father's father, my grandfather, passed away, in his will, custody of me went to my grandfather's sister. Bless her soul, she's still with us today. She lives down south. That's all I'm gonna say. She lives down south, and she raised me until I was 6, 7 years old, I do believe. Maybe 9, 8, 9. It's been ages. Um, After that, I end up moving or to my biological father's mother's house, and her husband, because my father's mother got remarried, my grandmother got remarried, and he was my step grandfather. And I lived with them until 2008 when I graduated high school. But I didn't like living up there when I was going through school because all the stuff that was going on, I pretty much was constantly told that the guys were supposed to take the garbage out. Um, all the men is supposed to go out and shovel while my sisters sat inside the house where it was nice and warm. And the sisters I'm talking about, the the third born sister, which she's a year older than me, and the sister that's a year younger than me, and she. So I was constantly was I was the one that was constantly outside shoveling the snow when it was like 6 feet deep, taking the garbage out and like minus 3 degrees weather. Um, and stuff. And so when I graduated in 2008, my biological father, and then this is all before what you got, what people has heard of and stuff like that, all before what went down. And I was 17, going to be turning 18 when I graduated high school. Um, so when I graduated high school, my father promised me that I can move in with him. So my my mom that I live with now, she's my stepmom, but she's more of a mother than my biological mother is. I so I call her mom, and she'll always be my mom. And same with my sisters. They'll always be my sisters because they've been there for me. They when I was the because when I lived with my grandparents when I was going through school, I was under a lot of depression. Um, I have a habit of when I get upset, I tend to lock up, which was pretty much I shut down. People will come up to me and ask me what's wrong, and all I tell them is I'm fine. When they can tell that I am not fine, and they are the ones who help me become the person I am today. And so they're my family. And no ifs, ands, or buts. Nobody can say anything about it. They're my family no matter what. Um, so I moved with them in 2008, and I've been with them ever since. Um, is everybody still here? But yeah, it's I just wanted to mention how I am and stuff like my where my history came from and stuff. The reason why, also the reason why I started my YouTube channel is because I've watched a lot of YouTube videos too, and I know I'm jumping around like crazy. Um, so I thought it was pretty cool finding out that you can create videos through YouTube, and when you can get famous enough, you can get paid for it. Um, on my channel, live. I live stream my video games like Grounded, um, Minecraft, Ark Survival, and stuff. It's random, um, and I just do that. Um, uh, but on I so back to the story. Um, I when I moved back down in 2008, I lived with him in 2008, and everything was going well. I was going through this program to help me figure out to do stuff, and I was this program I was doing for lost count. It's been years when I did that program. Um, Eventually, I end up used to start working on a painting crew. Um, so I painted for like 2 years to help with paying for rent and bills. Uh, um, Tougher than nails. I am 35. My mother doesn't need to know I am doing this. I'm an adult, and this was my own decision. So if you don't like it, you can leave, which I think they did. I don't know.
Hey, can I tell you a little secret? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, this is.
Don't worry about it, homie. Continue.
Uh,
Don't worry about it. Just continue.
um, where did I left off?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I told you I got you.
I was talking about the painting crew to help pay for the bills and stuff. Um, so I paid for a couple of years and stuff. On the painting crew, and then uh, while I was painting the painting crew, some some things happened, and I had to leave. It, and um, I was trying to help out then after the painting career, I ended up doing the newspaper route for half a year to still help pay for our bills and stuff. And at that time, we had a dog. He was a Beagle Bloodhound, and he wasn't mine. Um, so the part I'm telling now, as I said, I'm jumping all over the place. Um, and the part I'm telling now is this is after what happened with my biological father and stuff. So, and I'm not going to give too much information on that because I don't want to. It's just snip clips of my story. Um, but the bigger bloodhound, he was a old boy. He was about 12 years old, 13, and we had it. He pretty much passed away on us, and on me, and I was the one that was actually his care actually fell under me. But when he passed away, it's just it hurt me and stuff. But um, I let myself grieve and stuff like that for the loss. But um, after that, couple after that, about a year after that, we found out that we found out that my mom was sick, and the place that we were living at, our landlord was selling the house underneath us, and we had to find a new place. I ended up moving back up to my relatives. Well, it was my biological father's sister's house, and I ended up with them for 2 years. The reason why I went up there is so my mom and can focus on making herself better. Um, so I lived with them for 2 years, and it was terrible. It just felt like they were just using me for my disability, and it was just making me angry and upset to a point where wasn't talking to almost to a point where I wasn't talking to anybody anymore, and I couldn't deal with it no more because I didn't want to go back to the way I was. And also, I was having like phone meetings with people, my like counselors and stuff like that, to help me um, deal with what was wrong with me and stuff. Help me cope with my stress and anxiety and stuff. And the thing is that my family up there constantly look at me like I'm a teenager when I'm a full-grown adult. And every phone call I did or had, they constantly asked, "Who you talking to?" Like they had to know who I was talking to at the moment. Not only that, like every 5 seconds, they were constantly calling for me and stuff like that. Like I couldn't have 5 minutes to myself, and it was just getting to me. And When I found out my mom finally found a new place for us to live, she asked if I liked the place, and I told her yes. Um, and so we did all the paperwork and stuff like that, and we got the place. And when we got the okay to move in, I packed up all my stuff. Um, this is the reason I packed up all my stuff. Said goodbye to my cousin, which is the only family member that I talk to on and stuff like that. And he's kind of like a little brother to me. And so I'd say goodbye to him. I talked to him later, and grabbed my stuff and left the house. My best friend, one of my best friends, was nice enough to come up to my aunt's house and pick me up with my stuff. So we packed up his vehicle and I left my aunt's house to move back in with my mom. And my little sister, which is the youngest one of my family. Um, so we moved back then, and after moving in, I helped out. Oh, after moving in, I helped out my mom as much as I could. And as much as I could, and I still do that today. Like I do all my running, I do all the running for my mom and my little sister. Uh, yeah, good. Um, I do all the running for my little sister and my mom. Uh, it was that winter. I was actually talking to my aunt that lives down south, and the reason why I was talking to her is because my aunt that lives down south has raised me since I was 3 years old, all the way up to at least 7, 8 years. So she was a big majority of my life, and um, I was talking to her and stuff, and both of us worked together to find a way for me to go down south for the winter. And this was it happened a month before December. I went down there in October, and this was after I just moved back in with my mom and my little sister. So it was October, November when I went down south, and we worked together to find a way for me to get down there. And I,
Hey,
what?
hold on. Hi, Buggy. How you doing, honey? This is a tell-all from Bones. He's gonna be the first of many, but Bones wanted to do it, so I gave him the reins.
Yeah, it's a story behind me since I'm
Yep, come
on
on.
his channel almost 95% of the time.
Yep. Well, good to see you. All right, Bones. I'm gonna give the reins back to you,
Yep.
buddy.
Uh, so as I said, we worked together to for me to go south. I managed to take a train, and I was really excited about that because that would have been the first time I had left the state that I'm in by myself. Okay, okay. You're welcome. Um, so it was the first time I have left the state that I live in by myself and traveled on a train by myself, and it was really exciting for me. Um, I was down south all the way up until March, and then the whole time I was down there spending time with her. Um, she showed me around where she lived, uh, showed me to her friends, so I got to meet some new people, and got some history of where she lives down south. Um, Also helped her out with because she started her own like small business where she goes around and picks up scrap metal and brings it to the scrap metal recycling place. And she, so I helped her with that. And when March came around, I rode the bus from South Carolina back to where I am now. And when I got to where we live, um, it was got back to where I live about 8, 9 o'clock that night, back up north to where I live now. About around 8, 9 o'clock, and luckily for me, Andrew was sitting there waiting for me with a ride. And then after I got home, we I said hi to my mom and my little sister and stuff, and I sat down and I unpacked my stuff and relaxed the rest of the evening before bedtime. Um, Now we're gonna jump a couple of days late, or a couple of days after I came back from down south. We were spending time with Andrew and my sister, his wife, um, having a barbecue. I can't remember. I think it was the first barbecue of the summer, or I think it was for a barbecue for mom for Mother's Day. I can't remember, but we were having a barbecue, and got to spend some time with them, and we end up we end up having a good time spending at the barbecue. And then after a couple times of having barbecues with them, we found out one of their roommates' dog was pregnant, and when she gave birth to the puppies, my sister, Andrew's wife, ended up asking if we wanted one. And this is I've been asking my mom and stuff like that if I could get another dog for like ages, because uh, all my life I always had a dog. So um, I wanted a dog, one, to help keep the house safe, two, um, just keep me happy and stuff. So we went up to Andrew's house and to pick out one of the dogs, and 420 high. It's story time with Bones, finding out, learning about my past, my history and stuff. Since I'm constantly on Andrew's stream, um, to pick out a puppy, and we picked one, and we were trying to think of a name for him, and my sister speaks up and says, "What about Toothless?" Well, my little sister liked it, liked the name, and I told her, "It's like you go ahead and name it whatever you want. I'm whatever name you pick, it's gonna stay that way. It's gonna be called that and stuff." So we end up naming him Toothless, and he was a little thing. He was just starting to either crawl or walk. Um, net issue. Hold on. Okay. Um. So.
Hey, Bones, we lost.
Oh, it did. Where did I left off?
Yeah, now you're back.
Oh, and the puppy.
The puppy first guy.
Oh, was
Yep.
after we named.
Hang on. Net issue still. No.
All right. So was after we picked his name. Oh,
As you were picking his
after
name,
we picked his name.
she was picking his
Oh,
name.
as I was. All right. So my sister said, "What about Toothless?" And my little sister liked the name, so I told my little sister, "Is like whatever you name it, it's gonna stay that way," because I couldn't think of anything better. Uh, and so I can't remember if he was just starting to walk or he was crawling. I can't remember. Um, but now I'm gonna. Yes, I'm jumping all over the place. Yes, I'm gonna explain why his name is Toothless. It's because he was the last puppy to get his teeth, and also Toothless is my little sister's favorite dragon.
Bones.
What?
Bones.
What?
Net is flaking in and out. So
Well, if you want to cut it here because it's flaking out, I'm good.
if you want to, because it keeps telling me every 2 seconds.
Yeah, we'll do this another time when the weather's better and the night's better too. Sorry, everybody.
All right. So we're gonna Bones. We'll do a.
Yeah, soon. Later.
All right, later, buddy. All right, guys. Bones is gonna do a part 2 soon. Let me boo you. Bones is gonna do a part 2 soon. I'm having net issues. We here he said he'll do a